what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power in the moment we've all been waiting for, the prejudging for the 2023 Texas Pro, where we finally got to see the showdown between Hunter Labrada and Andrew Jack. Really, the rematch between Hunter Labrada and Andrew Jack, because last time these two went head-to-head at the Olympia, Hunter Labrada came out on top. Now, this time around, I think both guys look very improved and very different from how they looked on the Olympia stage, so it's a little bit different this time. Now, the first call-out, obviously, you had Hunter and Andrew in there. They were dead center pretty much the entire time. Well, the entire time, literally, not pretty much. So as we expected, the show is going to be between the two of them. But before we talk more about Hunter and Andrew, you also had Lewis Breed on the left-hand side of this call-out. And Carlos Thomas Jr., making his pro debut, made the first call-out, and he's on the right-hand side. Now, for his pro debut, I think Carlos looked really good. I think from a size standpoint, he really hung in there with everybody. It came down to a conditioning thing, I think, for Carlos. And he was in another call-out where I think they made it look like there's a possibility that he could slip out of the top four, but I still think he's going to be in the top four when this thing is said and done. But I think this is kind of what I was worried about going into it. We hadn't really seen that next level of conditioning from him yet, and in a lot of the pictures, while he has this really crazy size, he's got crazy quads, crazy arms, really good structure, we hadn't really seen any indicators that he was going to be in crazy shape. And of course, the last time we saw him on stage, which was already a couple years ago, he was in good shape, but it wasn't crazy, and we knew that Hunter and Andrew were going to bring it, and they did. So I think that's what it came down to with Carlos. He needs to just be tighter, especially in the back poses. And I think that's something that he's going to improve upon with time. And I also think that he had the least amount of shine of anybody on stage. And I think that played a factor in how his conditioning looked. But overall, very good first showing, and I think he will likely still be top four here. So let's get to Hunter and Andrew Jack. This was your clear top two. And it's got to be very close between them because they ran these guys through the poses like 3 or 4 times. This was a very long top two call-out. They switched these guys around, put them on different sides of each other, ran them through the poses. Hunter was sweating a lot, struggling a lot by the end of it, I think more so than Andrew. That's one point I would give to Andrew is that I felt like he made it look more effortless than Hunter did. He ran through those poses, didn't look like he was struggling. And your eyes were really drawn to Andrew, I think, most of the time. And that's kind of what I said going into this, was that these guys have such two different physiques. They're so different to look at. The apples and oranges comparison. I said this a lot going into it. Hunter and Andrew are very, very different bodybuilders. And the interesting thing about Andrew, and I think this is why people like him so much, is his physique is just so big. His stage presence is just so imposing. He's a taller guy, but the fullness that he brings, just this crazy round look in his pecs, in his shoulders, in his arms, the crazy developed abs that are just, like I said, some of the best abs I think in open bodybuilding. When all this comes together, your eyes are just drawn to him because his physique just pops. He's got this really unique 3D look to him. And I think he was in better shape here than the Arnold. Now, I think Hunter, on the other hand, looked really good as well. I think he might have been slightly sharper in Tampa, but he looked fuller here than he looked in Tampa. So it was a good combination of the two, and I think maybe he did that knowing that Andrew Jack is the much bigger guy, and he needed to compete with that fullness a little bit. But Hunter's conditioning, I do think, was slightly ahead of Andrew's. I think he was sharper, especially from the back. I think it was a lot closer from the front, but in the back shots, you could really see how sharp Hunter was. Crazy separation in the hamstrings. A lot of detail in his back double bicep. He's brought that pose up a lot. But then in the front, I feel like you've got to give those shots to Andrew. I mean, he looks so crazy in some of these front shots. Then when you turn him around from the side, I think Hunter comes back a little bit, and you're like, well, look at Hunter's conditioning from the side. Look at his legs. I think this is going to be a very, very difficult one to judge. I think it's very close, and like I said, I think they're very different. My eyes were drawn more to Andrew, I would say. I think Hunter struggled a little bit, like I said, towards the end. It was a very intense, long call-out for the top two, but I feel like his midsection, he was letting it go a little bit towards the end. He was breathing pretty heavy. He was sweating. I honestly thought that he was kind of shaky in some of his poses to where Andrew Jack, I felt like, was doing a little bit better job of holding his poses and not shaking as much and not looking like he was struggling. Like I said, he kind of made it look effortless. This is going to be a tough one, and I feel like either way that it goes, the internet is going to explode, because I feel like it's going to be, there's no way that this goes one way or the other without people having a strong opinion on it. If Hunter wins, I know all the Andrew Jacked fans are going to be upset. And if Andrew Jacked wins, there's going to be all kinds of people saying Hunter should have won because of his conditioning. But I think, honestly, both guys really delivered. I think they're both close to their all-time best. I think Andrew might be at his all-time best here. And Hunter, between this show and Tampa, he's at his best. He's certainly better than he was at the Olympia by a lot. So they both delivered. Neither guy was off. I think it's very close. And it's tough. I'm hesitant to even say who I think would win here. My gut feeling wants to say Andrew, because my eyes just kept getting drawn to him the entire time. I mean, his physique just stands out so much that I couldn't stop looking at Andrew versus Hunter. So my gut is telling me Andrew, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hunter does enough here to pull it off. We'll see. This is a tough one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who is winning the 2023 Texas Pro? Comment down below and like and subscribe for more videos like this one. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.